Yay, another Soul of an Empath podcast. I'm Tiffany Cano. We have one of my friends. He's also a practitioner who I've worked with. We've received in both directions from each other. His name is Matt Travis. He's the founder of the Potential You. And I really, really, really like Matt. Okay. He is super awesome. So let me tell you a little bit about him. He's a rapid transformational therapy practitioner and a high performance mental fitness coach who runs an online company called The Potential You. He helps women entrepreneurs and coaches break through business and life plateaus by transforming their subconscious mind to release the mental, physical, and emotional baggage. Who doesn't have a little bit of that we can all let go, right? And as we let go of that baggage, it helps us to better achieve and maintain success and results. So, after earning his Master's of Science in 2011, Matt continued his professional growth journey, becoming a rapid transformational therapy practitioner, mental fitness coach, certified functional strength coach, precision nutrition pro coach, Wildfit Nutrition Coach, and a functional movement specialist. Talk about titles, right?
I like learning.
I totally get it. Matt lives in Massachusetts with his amazing wife and two cutie pie boys. Oh my gosh, I love his boys. Super small side note. I was teaching a workshop and his boys came in and they were in the Zoom and I had him and his boys lead us in some physical exercise just to
That's
like
right.
break up the energy of the day and help us integrate. And oh my gosh, his boys are just adorable. So
I forgot about that. That was so funny.
all we did was laugh and squat. And
Oh, so good.
I have the 2 minutes of the exercise that they led just like as a separate little video just
That's
because
awesome.
it's so hilarious. And
So good.
yeah. And for those of you who don't know yet about rapid transformational therapy, RTT, it is super fantastic. I've had several sessions with Matt, and they have really helped me to go deep. And I do a lot of deep work. It's my passion in life is to go deep with me,
Yeah.
with my clients, with my students. And it's nice to have somebody on the other side who has the right vibration and energy and resonance that I'm willing to receive from. And Matt's such a safe space. Ladies and gents, but ladies who need that like safe masculine energy, that's Matt.
I appreciate all of these amazing compliments, and I want to send them straight back to you. I really like when you were like, I really like Matt. I was like, I really like Tiffany.
Yeah, um we've had we've spent time together getting to know each other as peers and received in both directions. And there's just he has so much to offer and I can't wait to share him with you in this episode. So Matt, what had you shift, your life from being a PE coach, working with kids in that arena to now you're doing RTTs, you're helping women entrepreneurs, you're doing so many good things in the world. Tell us about what led you in this direction.
Yeah, it was a journey, and I think it really started when I graduated and I was teaching PE, and I fell in love with. I was actually coaching football as well, high school football, and kind of falling into the patterns of what I knew. And it was interesting because I started to watch. Um, kids really kind of want to get stronger, but were hurting themselves getting stronger. And so I fell in love with functional movement and strength and conditioning, and really how to train your body correctly and not get hurt. Because safety and just well-being is such a passion of mine. So I found that there were a lot of kids out there that really wanted to be better in their sport and just better physically all around, but didn't really know the functional way to do that. So I went and got my certifications in that and really started to fall in love with it. And um, an interesting day, this was like August 2009, maybe 2010. I invested the most money ever. I invested about $40,000 into a wedding ring and a fitness franchise at the same time. So I put it all out there, put it on the table. We opened our fitness facility, and I got married to my amazing wife. And it was a wild ride because I started to help a lot of youth, but also adults. Like, I had probably had a mix at that time. And it was also interesting because I found that I started with a lot of males being a football coach. Like I had a lot of high school football players coming to me. But by the end of my time running my fitness facility about 6 years later, you look on the floor and it was mostly female high school athletes and women and moms. And it was really fascinating how that just evolved naturally. And during that whole time, I started to question, and the big question that I've been really asking myself over the past 12 years is, how do you get results and ensure that you keep them and maintain them?
You
Right?
mean not the little yo-yo results?
Exactly. That's what's been driving me for literally like these past 15 years is like, and it comes back to human behavior. Why do people get results and can't? Why do they either do things and not get results? Why do they get results and can't keep them? And how do we shift that for people? So it led me down this whole rabbit hole of like, okay, I have all my strength and conditioning stuff. I'm going to get all my nutrition stuff now because it's got to be nutrition. That was like how my brain works. It was like, all right, it must be, I'm not teaching them how to eat well. So I did all that. That was good. And it helps. And it wasn't the thing. It wasn't the thing. So I was like, like this has got to be something with their mind. So I did all of the what most people do when they go down the mindset rabbit hole. They I did all of Tony Robbins stuff. I did all of Jim Rohn stuff. I did all of the mindset rah people.
Yep. Yep.
And I was like, this is good. And it's not moving the needle as far as sustain and maintenance, like keeping the things that you do. So that's when I found Marissa Peer. I found people like Dr. Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton, all these amazing individuals that were working with the subconscious mind. And I just started absorbing and geeking out and learning everything that I could learn about it. And it was so fascinating to me how much we don't control our lives. Like 95% of what we're doing is just a subconscious habit that's been running this program for really most of your life. A lot of the things we develop when we're kids or are indoctrinated to us as children and or from past lives and things like that. And we still have these things running in the background. And so unless we go in, we observe and we really understand and then repattern and reprogram that subconscious habit program is just going to keep running itself, and it's going to keep giving you the same results that you have always gotten. And that's that's where I was just really tired of people feeling bad about themselves. Like they were trying, a lot of people when they're trying to get better or do something and get results, whether it's weight loss or eating healthier or exercising or building a business or improving relationships, when they don't get the results or they get results and can't keep them, they start to go and put it on themselves. Like, is there something
Feel
wrong with me?
bad, like
Yeah.
feel like a failure, feel
Yeah.
like, oh, nothing I do is ever going to work, not
Totally.
good enough, or whatever other story that, people may have.
Yeah. So really, and if you take nothing else away from this episode, I just want you to understand that it is literally not your fault. Your subconscious patterns in your programs, they're just running. They don't care whether they don't really care about your goals or what you want in life. They really are just like they just are doing what's safe, familiar, predictable, certain to them,
Mm-hmm.
right? You
Mm-hmm.
wake up, you get out of bed, you maybe check your phone, you use the bathroom, you go, some people get a coffee, whatever you do each and every day. And you'll just notice that you kind of just keep running the same programs. So if you want to
Rinse
change your
and repeat,
programs, yeah.
rinse and repeat.
Yeah. So it's like it's this crazy like cycle that we get in, and a lot of us we can't see it because we're in it. So
Yep.
it's, I always say, in order to get out of the box, you have to get out of the box, and in order to get out of your head, you actually have to get out of your head. So it is it is a process for people, but it's understanding that your subconscious habits are not you. I'm going to prove it to
Mm-hmm.
you right now. If you have a habit right now of procrastination, a lot of times people are like, I'm a procrastinator, and they label themselves as that. And it's not that you are a procrastinator. You just have a habit of procrastination. Your mind has realized, like, hey, when I don't feel like doing something and it's painful to do it, how about we just not do it? And it's like, yeah, that's a really good idea. And then your mind's like, all right, let's just not do it. And it feels good in the moment when they just don't do it. So this gives people a chance to get out of that stress response and in the moment, but of course, long term, it makes things hard when you're trying to achieve certain goals, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of really how it all came about. That's what made me jump into rapid transformation therapy. That's what made me start to go down this rabbit hole of helping people finally break the cycle of going through that.
Mm-hmm.
um yeah.
And the rapid transformation therapy, the RTT, it's so interesting because it's a combination of a lot of different
It
things
is.
that I've been trained in and also know intuitively, but it's packaged in a way that is so beautiful.
I agree, Marissa did an
Mm-hmm.
unbelievable job putting it together.
Yeah, it's like
I
it's a
totally agree.
fusion of hypnotherapy, doing deep shadow work, doing some
Yeah, literally
release work.
she
Yeah.
took, yeah, she took like psychotherapy, she put it together with cognitive behavioral therapy mixed with neuro linguistic programming, and made the delivery of it hypnotherapy. So it's just a beautiful mix of all of it. And then, of course, as practitioners, we ultimately bring our energetic flow to it, and
Mm-hmm.
I am always meeting the client where they're at, right? Like, because wherever we go, I always tell people, like, when we go in there, your mind's going to take us to where it wants to go. So a lot of times it's like, why is this coming up? And I'm like, because it is. And you can, your mind is super powerful. And I'd love to talk about misconceptions around this too, because a lot of,
Sure.
yeah,
And
like yeah.
then I also want you to like tell them about what types of things RTT can help with.
Mm.
So start with misconceptions, please.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of times people have had experience where they've seen like on TV or they've been there live where they see stage hypnosis, where they see people like clucking like a chicken or barking like a dog or like having all of these things going on for themselves. And I will tell you folks, that is not what we do at all, even a little bit. Like you cannot, I can't do that.
You don't lose your willpower
Yeah, you're
through
100%
this.
there the whole time. And we're having a conversation the whole time. I explain it to people this way. We're really putting your central nervous system to sleep, and we're tapping into a deeper level of your subconscious so that we can understand everything. And it also, my favorite part about it is it removes all of the barriers of really what gets us to the actual route that you could be spending. And I'm not bad mouthing talk therapy, because I really believe that there's a time and place for that, and it's needed. And I feel like you can be doing that for 10 years and never actually figure out what the thing is. So it's like, that's what drew me to this, is like, now I can help people, in 1 to 3 sessions break through something that has been blocking them their whole life. So it is something where you have 100% control 100% of the time. We can start at any moment. It's beautiful. And it is extremely safe. It's effective. You're in control the whole time. And it's a beautiful process that allows you to really remove a lot of the stuff that's blocking you and upgrade the things that you want to upgrade in your life.
So what are some of the common themes that people come to you for? That
Yeah.
What's their goals?
Yeah, it's fascinating because I have people come to me for so many different things. I mean, you'll have your basic, like, quit smoking and quit drinking and stop eating sugar and things like that. Like those ones are very common, a lot of health ones. And I feel like a majority of the people that come, they're really looking to have more answers around, why they lack confidence, or, where some of the mental blocks are for them, like in regards to why they can't, have certain relationships, or why they've fallen into certain relationships. And it's interesting because most of the time it comes back to this enoughness piece. And I think of enoughness in kind of like 2 legs with like 2 extra legs on top of them. So it's like, on one side, there's self-love and self-worth. So that's one side. And then on the other side, there's confidence and capability. And it's making sure that these are put into place. And I mean, those can be disturbed when you're younger by something as simple as, a classmate laughing at you when you're reading in front of the class, or like, a parental figure or a coach or a teacher telling you something that was not appropriate, and you believing it, and then it sticks, and then it's just that pattern runs, and then now you're doing this, all the way up to really, really in-depth trauma, where people, there's war trauma, there's trauma from physical, sexual, emotional abuse. It runs the gamut. And I want people to understand that, like, trauma is a massive spectrum. So like, we can totally have a trauma response to something that we might think is small, but it affected us. It affected us. So it is something that people need to understand, that we got to get away from the comparison of comparing our stuff to somebody else's stuff, because that's what's keeping us stuck, right?
And even when doing the trauma work, because, I've been working on myself since I was a teenager.
Mm,
That's really when I started doing personal development,
yeah.
right? And yet to have somebody else on the outside holding the space to get to some of those deeper layers or experiences that my inner child forgot about,
Yeah.
or that just were so buried that I had no idea that that was still affecting me today.
Yeah.
um and Matt, just to give you some kudos, I mean, you took me to some dark places of shame, of terror, from memories from this life or other lives. And yet I felt completely safe the entire time, was able to transmute, to heal, to release that old stuff. And I very much appreciate the way that you facilitate, which is why I, you know, joyfully shout your name to my tribe, because I feel like they'll be safe with you. I
So appreciate
don't
that. Yeah.
always promote, other practitioners the
Yeah.
way that I am you, because I've had that personal experience from you and I know it to be
Sure.
true. And Matt, I'd also like for you to share with them about potential you and all the various online courses and things that they could access
Mm,
and learn from you in that way as well.
sure. Sure. Yeah. I appreciate all the kind words, Tiffany, and you know how serious I take this, and like how I consider it a big responsibility to go on that journey with people and to go to the places where they need to go and be able to be there with them and support them through that journey,
Mm-hmm.
because I get to learn about people at a very deep level. And after doing over
Yep.
300 sessions, it's like you start to see patterns, and how I want anyone that's listening to understand that, like, a lot of us have some deep, dark stuff that we need to work through, me included. Like I work with a practitioner as well. Like, we all have our stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and if we just leave it there, it's just gonna stay there. So it's like, like, it's
Why
just
are you banging your head up against the wall?
exactly.
Oh, because you haven't dealt with that thing yet.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's stuff like I had no clue. Like, I went back to the womb myself, like in two of my sessions that I did, I was actually in the womb and learning about things just at a very, very early age. And I have many clients that do that. I have clients that even go, whether you believe it or not, folks, they end up in past lives, and there's just so much power in uncovering this
Mm-hmm.
and really removing it and letting
Yep.
that karma flow, right? So it is really great, and I I'm grateful that people trust me in that to go through that with them.
And thank you
So
for being
yeah.
trustworthy in our soft, tender, vulnerable, you know, not so bright and shiny places.
Yeah, for sure, for sure, for sure. Yeah. And I think I really feel like it's my purpose. I feel really grateful that I get to live in what I am on the planet to do, and really love what I do
Mm-hmm.
and how I do it. And I'm also never like, I'm always going deeper and learning more and more and more, and I'm just always getting better because I have a drive to always deliver the best quality that I can. And I think that's really how the potential you became to be. That name hit me when I was running my fitness facility, and I had, I mean, it was just thing after thing. And it was like, I had destroyed my gut health from the stress of running a business and being a full-time teacher and starting a family, and the stress of that and mold exposure caused a
Mm.
lot of doctors gave me a lot of antibiotics, and I destroyed my gut health. And I really thought that that was my path after that. Like, if I were to go back in time, I probably would have gotten my doctorate in the gut health world, because of how much time I spent studying that at such a intense, deep,
Mm-hmm.
100,000 hour time frame to try to really learn everything about the gut. And it really helped me, actually, interestingly enough, it helped me draw that line from my gut health stuff to the subconscious, because there is a massive connection between your gut and your brain. There is
Yep.
a gut brain axis. So
The
that
sec
kind of,
the
yeah,
gut is like the second
second
brain.
brain, yeah, totally. So like all of that happened, and me and my wife were trying to have our second child, and we had two miscarriages, and the IVF failed, and then we went to this was when we were going to the hospital to have the second we had to get a DNC done for the second miscarriage. And I remember driving to the hospital and getting a text from my head coach that was running my fitness facility, and she was like, I had a panic attack, I kicked everybody out of the fitness facility, and I quit.
Oh no.
And it was just one of those moments. I was like, God, I can't, I don't know what to do right now. I'm
That's
getting
a
hit
lot in one
left and
moment.
right. Yeah. So I brought my wife home and left her on the couch, lying on the couch, because I had to go shut the fitness facility down. And that's when I realized, I was like, this is not what life's supposed to be like. This is not what running a business is supposed to be like. This is not, I was like, this is out of alignment. Everything's out of alignment. And I remember feeling, and I had this really wild moment going to the fitness facility and really like I just like fell down crying, just like in that moment,
Mm-hmm.
realizing like, and I'm hearing this voice like, you are enough. You don't need to do more. You don't need to keep doing more of this. You can let this go. This is part of what you're supposed to become. And all of these things were hitting me left and right. And within 3 months, I ended up shutting it down. And
Good for you.
yeah, it
Good
was
for
the
you to
hardest thing. It
listen.
was so hard. It was so hard. That was the most emotional thing, because we had probably about 150 members at that time, and I just knew I knew I needed to do something different. And it was weird, because within a week of making that decision, the name The Potential You just hit me, and it was just like, it just it just made sense to me. And I didn't know what it was going to look like. I didn't know what going online was going to look like. I had no clue. This was back in 2016. So I was like, I don't know what this is going to look like, but I'm just going to trust it. And it's evolved to such a different level at this
Mm-hmm.
point, where we can help people in so many different ways. And it started off where it was mostly, nutrition and fitness and health and mindset and things like that. And now we have multiple different paths that people can go to really follow their own path and journey, and connect with their deeper higher self, right? And really get back to listening to themselves and understanding at a deeper level what they need, whether it be, mastering their mind, or mastering their body and health, or mastering their business. It's different for everybody. And that's what I think I love about it is I love fitness. It was my first love, and it's not actually what I'm here to do. Like,
Yeah.
that's
I, I
just the
I
reality of
mean,
it.
I did your 3-month mind body mastery program. Um, and you talked a lot about nutrition and food. We worked on some exercise stuff. It was a great support. And for anybody who's looking for some online courses, Matt's got a very robust set of courses that can be very helpful. So I'll put the link for how you can, get in touch with him for sure
Yeah.
in the show notes. And tell us about the free gift if people want to, get a little freebie
Yeah,
from you
absolutely.
and experience you in that way.
Yeah. So I think it's so important to align your mind with the plan that you design, because how many people design a plan and then they just can't do it, or they won't do it, or whatever it is, right? So you have to have this plan for yourself, and then you have to have your mind on board with it. So this specific one is tailored around health, but basically it's a health hypnosis, like a healthy mind and body hypnosis. And then there's a little masterclass that you can watch as well that gives people a breakdown of how to actually integrate your plan with your mind so that you can achieve and get better long-term results. And then I even give people an opportunity to do a 15-30 minute call with me where I actually give them a plan based off of what they say they want nutrition wise, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
exactly what, because a lot of times people are this is just what I've learned is they'll hire an online coach, and I'm like, stuff is not hard. I can give you a list of exactly what to eat and how to eat it. And with that being said, you know, if that's all you need, great, here it is. And then you can run and do whatever you want with it. But the nice part is during that time, we'll go through, I have a quiz that people could take and go through their mental saboteurs and the things that are actually blocking them on
Mm-hmm.
the mind side of things that are stopping them from actually doing any plan, no matter what plan it is. So it helps us figure that all out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And it's free, folks. And if it helps you, that's all I'm in this for.
And his hypno audios are really lovely. His voice, his cadence, the binaural beats music behind it, it's really soothing. I
It's
I
my
I very
RTT
much
voice.
enjoy. Yes. His RTT voice gets a little deeper, a little softer, a little I don't know, just more heart space and
Yeah.
more crown spiritual energy comes
Yeah.
through when he, shifts into that kind of an archetype. And it's really wonderful. So check out the link that I'm going to put in the show notes. Get his free gift, get the audio for health, get access to um, a free call with him, and explore what you haven't yet um, known at a conscious level, I should say, that's been
Yes.
blocking you, because it'll be amazing. Thank you so much, Matt. I
Thank
appreciate you
you.
being here.
Thank you.
Thank you
It was
very
a
much.
pleasure.
All right. Much love, everyone. Bye for now.